It's the best £10, well, it is actually effectively £10 now, thanks to Brexit. I'm heading into Cambridge to Woodwin and Reed, which is my local music shop. I'm going to have my Mark VI looked at. I was on the phone to them last week. Basically, I'm getting to this point where I get my saxophone service, you know, I have the corks and things done kind of like every 18 months. My Mark VI is a 1956, so it's over 60 years old now. And I'm just worried that it's kind of wearing out a little bit. What I mean by that is, I leave the shop when I've had it serviced or refurbed, and it plays brilliantly. It plays almost as good as new, you know, everything seals, everything kind of works fine, there's kind of no issue with leaks, everything just pops the way I want it to. Within about 6 months I start noticing things are not totally right. Within 12 months things are really not going well with it. And so Tim, who is the guy who heads up the repair section there, has agreed to have a look at my horn today, just to try and see, because I was kind of wondering, do I need to have it completely overhauled, which is a lot of money. I trust these guys, I hope they won't turn around and make me do an overhaul for this, you know, if it doesn't need it. I was playing, when I showed you this video of my old teacher's Mark VI, which one of my students has got now, I was amazed when I made that video about how well that horn responded, compared to what it did when I first played it after my teacher's partner, you know, asked me to sell it for her. And it really, you know, the level went up such a great amount, and so I want mine to go up that kind of amount. But what we're wondering is, that was obviously a 1975 Mark VI. It's 20 years younger than my saxophone, and so I'm trying to pose the question in today's vlog, you know, do these saxophones wear out? Are there fundamental things that you just can't change, that they just age, and if they're getting played for an hour or more every day, you know, is it just the way it is? We just need to kind of look at it. But anyway, we'll find out the answer. I'm still struggling big time with my asthma and this cold. They put me on some steroids today, which is trying to stop me being like Bob Fleming.
Bob Fleming here. Excuse me. Tell you about my new my CD featuring some of your best loved folking classics.
I love the Fast Show, it's such a great show. Anyway, heading into Cambridge now, and hopefully we'll get some positive news on the horn. I can't play with the scarf up. This is the joy of parking in Cambridge. Everybody parks like millimetres away from you. Especially idiots in white vans. So, some minor repairs done. Plays a bit better, as you heard. The low B's kind of coming out a bit better. But the general advice was there's a lot of wear and tear in the rods and things, and it's going to need an overhaul. Now, they have quoted me quite a lot of money. I know, so I need to have a think about that. And also, they can't do it till June, which is when I'm supposed to be touring with Jazz Vespers, so I'll have to see what I do with that. But it's interesting, isn't it? You know, saxophones have only been made for about the last 160 years, and obviously those really old ones we don't have anymore, and the kind of golden age was that period kind of from the 30s to the 70s. And so we're only just now finding out how these saxophones age and what happens with them, especially if you've got horns that have been played for hours every day. You know, if they've been owned by professional musicians from when they were bought, and then they're now bought by other professional musicians, you know, how much do they wear out? It's an interesting conversation and topic. So if you own a vintage horn, let me know how you're getting on, what your age is, what the age of the horn is, obviously, and kind of what's going on there, because it's something. What I love about that saxophone, the reason I chose that saxophone, I picked it out of a room of 15 Mark VIs, various different ages, and even though it wasn't right, something captured me about the sound of it. And the most important thing on anything to do with music is the sound, and what I wanted was that sound. And it's kind of, in a way, I probably should have, I was saying last night, I wish I kept my balanced action. That was a beautiful, beautiful saxophone. In fact, I phoned the shop up about a year ago and asked them if they still had it, and they've sold it. And I actually know of another shop that did an overhaul on that balanced action, and I know where that horn is now. So I've told him to let the guy know if he ever thinks of selling it, I might have it back. But I think I'm going to make a few phone calls and see what we can do about it. It's a lot of money, but right, here you go. Other one, Amy. You pull it? I'm listening now to T-Von Pennicott at Smalls live. I've said this before, but it's well worth signing up for Smalls live. I'll put the link below. It's $10 a month, and you basically get the chance to go through the whole archive of some amazing musicians. You know, this was one of the key things Bradford Marsalis was telling me to do 14 years ago about getting to New York, was that I needed to hear all these different players. And the great thing is now, with the power of the internet, you can do that in the comfort of your own home, wherever you are in the world. It's the best £10, well, it is actually effectively £10 now, thanks to Brexit. It was about £7 when I signed up, which such is the joy of the currency fluctuations. But it is well worth it. I'm not doing any deep listening on it today. Sorry, I wish I could. I've just got so much I've got to sort out today. It's supposed to be my day off, and because I've been sick this week, I'm still not feeling great. And I've been out, as you've seen. I'm kind of just running around, trying to get on top of things, doing student exam entries, trying to tidy up a bit in here, and then get ready, because tonight I'm hopefully moving my Cambridge Saxophone website, which is my teaching website for my online students, to a new server. So I've then also got to send an email out to students to tell them, oh, it's busy, and I need to practice as well, because I don't want to stop and let this go, do I, after so close to 100 days. So please excuse me for a moment while I wander around and stick you guys on a time lapse. Oh, I'm struggling. Cannot get the air out. Oh my goodness, that's just been 15 minutes. You can hear it in my voice. So I'm going to be sensible and kind of take a breather for a minute, quite literally. Anyway, so that piece I was mainly focusing on. There was a piece by Charlie Parker called Segment, which I hadn't heard until I heard Lucas Stoll doing it on a gig, and I'm going to try and get a vlog with Luca at some point. I can't talk any louder than this, I'm sorry, it's literally ruining my breath. So I think I'm just going to do one little bit of transcribing, and then I'm going to take a break.